things are important or necessary. It depends on where you at. Personally, for me, where I'm at, I don't think they're necessary. Good morning, child. Other people's health just because you can't pick up your child or you don't have anybody to pick up your child when a sickness is discovered. Hey, teacher besties, welcome back to Childcare Unlocked, where we talk about all things education, from childcare to college. I'm your host, Amira Mone, and today we are going to be talking about behaviors for our 5th episode. Okay, so I'm just going to get straight to the point. Okay, straight to the point. It's different for different age groups. So I personally work with 1-year-olds turning 2-year-olds. So for my child care providers that work with the younger set of children, not, your middle school, elementary, high school. So your younger children, your early childhood education. How are y'all doing? Okay. How are y'all doing? I just want to know because I feel like a lot of parents, one, do not take behavior concerns seriously between the ages of 1 and 5. So it's like your ones and then your preschools, your 3 to 4, kind of like more of 3, and then pre-K 4 to 5. And people really don't take behavior seriously until the work starts counting. So it takes a little more seriously around pre-K, but once you're in school, then you're gonna be like, why ain't nobody tell me that my son or my daughter acted like this? We told you the whole time. We told you the whole time because it is a fine line between they are still growing and they're still trying to figure out right from wrong, and then there's another line of they're around too many grown people. They watch the wrong stuff. They listen to the wrong stuff. And mainly, they're around too many grown people. So people don't think to watch their mouth, watch their tone, what they're listening to when their 2-year-old, their 3-year-old is around them. Because let me tell you, they come back and they say it and they act like it and they sing it. They do all the things, okay? So they soak up everything that you are doing around them. So please be mindful of what you're listening to, how you talk, and what you're watching around your younger children, because the impressionable stage is not just one stage, okay? It's your younger stage, and then it's again in middle school, and then it's again in high school, and then it's really for the rest of your life, because we're always impressionable positively or negatively around something, right? So the behavior is important at every single age, okay? Even though they're 1 years old and they're 2 years old, yes, we're still teaching them right from wrong. But some of these behaviors are literally at a 10 for a 1-year-old, okay? It's something that you might expect for a little bit older, maybe you're 5, 6, pre-K, kindergarten, but they're like the 5, 6 energy in their behavior is now in a 1-year-old. And it's like some of this behavior is not even like remotely what you think a 1-year-old will be able to understand and soak up. But believe me, okay, believe me, they do. They do, because they cuss, they talk all different types of ways. For the ones that can talk and understand, they do. Okay, they do. And then they cuss the right way. They use the cuss words in the right sentence correctly. So it's like, that they've heard it before. People around them are saying it. So just be mindful, because that can add to their behavior at school. So when dealing with admin, we kind of get the same runaround of that's the age that they're going to do this. But some of this, I really, really, really feel like is severe for a 1 year old, okay? For a 1 year old to be exhibiting. So a lot of children, one, because children are just different all across the board, because ethnic, of how you was raised, the parents and how old they are when they had you, um, female or boy, it depends. It all depends on how the child will behave. But we have to not just ignore or skip over what is happening, right? So, for instance, let me give you an example. I have a child that is a biter. And as soon as I said a biter and I said that I deal with 1 turning 2 year olds, what would be your first thought? That's normal for that age, right? Which it is. But more of a hum, a nibble, a bite. Just putting your finger or your cheek or your thumb or whatever in your mouth and biting down. That's a biter. Okay? I have a child that literally, think of a zombie. Okay? Think of a zombie or a piranha maybe. The child literally grabs on to the other child's face and bites down so hard you would think he was eating food, like a steak or something. Like he had to really get in there, you feel me? So we've had multiple instances where he has, at first it's like, oh, hey, looking at another child, it's like, oh, I want to play. And you can tell that the child doesn't know how to maneuver around big groups of children. So the child usually starts, hey, going in for a hug, wanting to play, laughing. And then all of a sudden, literally all of a sudden, is not provoked. The child didn't take nothing from the other child, nothing like that. It's like the face and then the teeth of the other child. And he literally latches on. He literally latches on, and you can't even yank the child from the other child because the grip is so gripped that you will literally tear skin from the other child. And that's happened before too, that the child was gripped so bad and so just piranha zombie like to the other child that it was just like, I have to literally put my hand in between his and like plier, undo. Y'all know what I'm saying? From each other, so I don't rip the legit skin off of the other child's face, because the grip is literally that tight. It's literally that tight. So behaviors like that, okay? The child's mother does not know how to go by it. So I'm not a parent myself. So all I can tell you is, so the child's mom does not know what to do. That's her first child. And like I said, I'm not a parent myself, so I only can tell you but so much. But the other teacher tries to give her as much advice as possible, but it's so like kind of outlandish that it's just like, what is the child watching? Okay, what is the child watching? What is the child doing? What is the child seeing? All the above. That is why is that his first thought? Because I know, especially 1 turning to your emotions is at an all-time high. So you're trying to figure out how to navigate your emotions. You don't know how to talk all the way. So you're going to be crying, you're going to be yelling, you're going to be aggressive, you're going to be all of that. But piranha, zombie type aggression is some stuff is just totally to the left. And it's just like, we got to go back to the drawing board, because how am I supposed to deal with this? Because I have 11 other children aside from this child that I have to make sure I protect, because the first thing is health and safety, right? So I have to make sure I protect, and that's now my hit buddy, right? That's now my hit buddy, just because now y'all know that I know this is now your hit buddy. That person is now your hit buddy. But when everybody else want to take a turn at being on 10 for the day, you having to have that person, that child as a hit buddy, it'd be hectic. It'd be hectic. So it's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of moving parts in a daycare center, because I know y'all in the high levels, the elementary, middle school, and high school, got y'all behavioral issues too. Especially because y'all's older. I can only imagine. Okay, I can only imagine. But just because they're younger does not mean that they should be just looked over. And just because they're younger does not mean that they should just be looked over because they're still learning, or any of the other excuses that parents and admin come up with. We still need assistance. We still need support in these behavioral issues, because we have 12 children. Not everybody's going to be bad at one time. My younger age groups need love too, okay? Please don't leave us in the dust, and don't forget about us, because when teaching them right from wrong, we need to do just that. Teach them right from wrong. And we also need to model what it looks like to do something right. But you can't control what happens in the parents' houses, so you can only redirect when they're in the care with you. Jesus. But we're always going to try our best, because we've had, several instances about biting, about children cussing, about children saying shut up, about children saying and doing and scratching and doing all the things, right? So some behavior is normal for that age group, because they are still learning how to navigate their emotions and speak. But some of that stuff we cannot just skip over. We can't. Okay, we can't. We have to learn how to redirect them, because children are very, very competent and very, very understanding. Because if they know how to use the cuss word correctly in the right sentence, then they can be redirected. Okay, and they can be redirected. So, other than that, I'm just gonna leave it there. I will see y'all next week on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Bye.